our final segment for today as we find out more about a vanilla farming initiative taking place in Toledo. We have with us on set the project director of Belize Vanilla Cooperative, Saluki Chiac. Good morning.
Morning.
And welcome.
Belize, welcome. Thanks for having me here today. It's very nice to come and explain about our project.
Well, this is very fascinating. I know of efforts in the South to try to get more farmers involved in cacao farming, but now we're venturing into vanilla. Tell us about where this initiative got started.
This initiative, well, for the Mayas, vanilla has been a very important thing. It's been passed down from generation to the next, but we didn't know it was vanilla. It's called vanilla.
What do you call it?
There's a name for it where we call it titsibik. It grows in the wild.
Okay.
Our parents, grandparents would harvest the beans and bring it and make a cacao drink.
Okay.
So with this, a lot of promotion been happening with the cacao industry. I mean, vanilla have to come along, to make complete the product. So for the Mayas, it has been very important to make a special drink for the kings, so which is the cacao drink, and the vanilla is a secret ingredient. It's no longer a secret.
Well, the secret's out right now, Saluki.
Okay, well, one of the initiatives why I chose vanilla to be, it's very unique. It's very hard to cultivate. It's very hard to care for, and it requires a lot of training, a lot of care, no? I've made connections with people who are interested in coffee and spices.
Yeah.
So, turmeric and cardamom, which is growing in southern Belize as well.
Yes.
And these are spices are very, very unique to me.
Yeah.
They have the potential to change lives in the southern Belize. And vanilla is like the second most expensive spice in the world. Now, I'm not doing this because it's for the price. It's for the importance, you know. I'm trying to blend in an agrotourism project with it, so that, you know, we want to sell people a package of experience.
Yeah.
Not just, I mean, you can find a bottle of chocolate vanilla drink in a supermarket, but to go on a farm and, you know, pick the cacao,
pick
the
your vanilla,
come and see how it's been processed, dried, cured, and have a drink. It's an experience.
So let's go back to some of the basics, because there's a lot that people don't know about vanilla. First of all, they see the vanilla extract and they think that it's liquid. It's not.
It comes from a bottle.
It comes, it's a pod, right? There's a bean. How difficult is it to cultivate vanilla?
Vanilla, it's an orchid. So it grows on it needs a host, it needs a tree. As you can see here, we have, this is an nursery stem cutting. You can see the new shoot here. In 3 years' time, this vanilla plant will start to blossom. And that flower is going to have a window period of 4 to 6 hours before the flowers falls off.
Yeah. So what we're saying is this shoot is just holding it up.
Yes.
The plant is actually this vine here.
This is the orchid.
Yeah, it's
and this is the new shoot that's coming up.
Okay.
So this right here, in 3 years' time, is gonna be like 4 to 5 feet tall, and we're going to train it. You have to train it. This can go up to 30 feet high if you don't control it.
Oh, if you leave it wild.
We train it. We give it that loop around. We take it down, put it up. It's gonna have branches. And when it starts to blossom, that is the most important part, where you need intensive training and hand pollination. We do not have the bees that does the pollination again. It's very scarce. So you're gonna have that period where you have probably 4 to 6 hours to hand pollinate a flower. Otherwise it falls off. So to get one vanilla bean, you have to be there within that time to hand pollinate that.
Wow.
Manually.
What? If anybody's ever purchased vanilla beans, they're extremely expensive. But obviously, with the amount of work going into it, we understand why. So how did you first venture into this manual pollination of vanilla?
Well, we have vanilla growing on our farm.
Yeah.
And we used to see very small results. And you know, those are natural pollination. We don't know how they happen. Probably we have the type of bees in Belize, a very small bees that does it. But you will get maybe on a vanilla plant, you might see 2 or 3 vanilla beans. But to see the clusters, you'll have to be there. So we start to practice it, you know.
So how do you hand pollinate? Explain to me.
If I had the flower, to make life easier.
Oh, it's not the flowering time right now.
It's not the flowering time right now. But you have to split it open and get the pollen grains to go to, you know, the hand pollination process.
Okay.
You have to be very careful. You do it with a toothpick. And so it's very...
So you take the pollen from the flower, from the blossom.
And you bend it forward into the...
You bend it
into the flower.
Into the flower.
Yeah.
And what does that do?
That pollinates it.
Okay, so that means it'll grow more.
Now that will have the vanilla bean.
Okay.
That's for you to have a vanilla bean. You have to hand pollinate each flower.
Wow.
So,
That's really interesting. I had no idea that it required all of that.
so it's the vanilla project is going to have a lot of training that needs to happen. And we have scheduled training on December 16th and 17th. And I think that's the reason I'm here today to ask 100 Belizeans who would support our initiative.
Yeah.
And we'll be repotting these stem cuttings that we have here today. On that date, we're going to have 30 participants, which are in the project from 5 different communities. These participants are going to prepare 100 vanilla plants, and we want to advertise them to people who want to support us to purchase these, and the proceeds will go into covering costs of our training, you know, transportation, food, and other logistical stuff.
So you started this project 5 years ago?
Well, technically, yes.
Okay. The idea was born 5 years ago. Okay.
5 years ago, and I want to say thanks to my little sister who is an agriculture student at the UB, and also she found out, rediscovered vanilla. As you know, we didn't know it was called vanilla.
It was always there.
It was always there.
What was the name again?
Tzibik.
Tzibik.
Yeah.
Tzibik.
Yes,
It's
that's the
TZ.
Mayan. That's the Mayan word. Right?
Tzibik.
So she did some research. I mean, how it grows, how it stem cuttings, and then when we started harvesting them from the wild and nurturing them on the farm, well, we saw the results. So for us to see, to go into production, I see the possibility, and then we want to involve the communities around us, right? So I think that as a people we can approach this project, and we can.
And so the process is extremely interesting. I find it really fascinating. Are we able to visit the farm to observe that process take place?
That's why I'm collaborating with the agro-tourism project. So it's going to be open for, of course, tours, farm tours.
Yeah.
So you can see exactly how the vanilla grows, how to nurture it, and it's going to be educational for people. A lot of people don't know that vanilla exists in Belize, but this was the native place, you know, the Mesoamerica, Belize, Guatemala, and Mexico.
Yeah.
So this is where it originated, actually.
Yeah. People love Mexican vanilla. It's so potent. And that was actually going to be my next question. What are some of the qualities of the vanilla that you have found in Belize so far?
Qualities?
Yeah, is it very strong? Like when people travel to Mexico, I'm one, I usually bring back Mexican vanilla because it's stronger than some of the other stuff that I would get. Would it be similar here in Belize? Would it have a more potent flavor?
Well, it is whatever vanilla we have in Mexico, Guatemala, and Belize. It's just practically the same we have. It's just that we haven't had the initiative to cultivate it properly.
Okay.
It's the way you cure it. It's the curing process. That's what
makes the
difference. Yes.
And what's the curing?
Now the curing process would be when you harvest the mature beans. You would put it in a plastic bag and put it on the sun for 1 day. That's curing there for 10 hours of heat, and then you sweat it every night and you dry it for 2 weeks. And you can have that vanilla bean, you can store it in a jar, it will stay fresh for the next 40 years.
Wow.
How long?
40 years.
Wow.
Proven. So it's something that I know my mother, my dad used to bring it from the wild, and we would dry it and we would store it there.
So the weather conditions in Toledo are good for the cultivation of vanilla?
Practically, throughout Belize is
Okay.
good. It doesn't require much rain, so you'll want to cultivate it in higher grounds.
So it doesn't get
very
soaked.
good drainage, very good. Needs 50% sunlight,
Okay.
humidity. So that's why I'm gonna have this training in December to teach young people.
So you have had this idea, you've been hand pollinating already. What has the response been like, whether within your own village or community? Is there interest from the other farmers to be able to do this type of work?
Well, those that are interested,
Yeah.
they come to me, we talk about it. So that's why I'm moving forward with it now.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know when I talk about vanilla. They probably don't know what is it.
Yeah.
Some people,
I wish we had a picture or a bean to show people. Yeah.
So that's why I take it as an initiative to educate people about vanilla and go back into history and tell them this was what our ancestors did. This is what we can do. This is a possibility. And a lot of people say that there's a high rate of poverty in Toledo, and these are the agriculture ventures that I go into, share my ideas and participate in general in the development of the country, and using agriculture as a background, as a stronghold for us to survive. I mean, in Toledo, I think people live on agriculture, right? And the reason I thought about forming a cooperative, it's a move that I see will succeed. No?
Yeah.
So to work together, share training, share equipment, share ideas, and
Saluki, how many people do you know so far are already cultivating vanilla?
well, to be honest, Belizeans probably a few, very few
Okay.
that I've met that knew about vanilla. There are people that when I first launched the project in August, I mean, a lot of people asking me about it, and they were interested. They didn't actually know it was existing in Belize. I mean, we have the Belize Spice Farm, we have deploys in Kaya District. We have other private farms, mostly, I would say, mostly foreign investments. But to be Belizean, especially in the Maya communities, they don't really have, I don't want to say they don't have the interest, but they don't see the potential it has.
So you have your training set for the 16th and 17th of December. Who do you want to come to the training, and what can they expect to learn?
Well, from the 5 communities that I'm working with, we're having like 4 participants from each group, and we will train them to establish a nursery. We'll train them to develop a compost which will be required for the vanilla plant, and then of course the transplanting, to put it on the host tree.
From the shoots here onto the tree.
Onto the tree, and how to train it, and then they give them an insight of the permaculture system we use in Toledo. As a way of farming, natural. You have natural shade, you have natural mulch, you have everything, and you do intercropping. So that will be more like the training is, right? The nursery, of course, repotting 100 vanilla plants for our fundraiser. Then on the 16th, that will be on 16th and 17th now, I'm getting a licensed tour guide to give everyone a tour of the farm and probably a visit to the waterfall, so they can have an idea of what agritourism is, right?
Yeah.
So everybody can have that idea, so they can go back in their communities and see how they can develop their own agritourism package. So.
And what are your hopes for vanilla farming, specifically in Toledo? Where do you hope to see it in the next 5 to 10 years?
5 to 10 years, I'm looking at to probably see 5 acres of vanilla in production.
Currently, how many acres are in
I would
production?
say, in general, we have launched this project in August. We have nurseries at the moment. We do not have vanilla garden yet.
Yeah.
In Santa Rosa, yes, the young woman there, one of the community that I'm working in. Yes, let me say it is communities I'm working with is Santa Rosa and Mayamopan in Stancrick District. There's 2 villages in the Stancrick District. We have San Antonio, Pueblo Viejo, and Santa Cruz village in Toledo District. And in Santa Rosa, yes, there's a vanilla garden established already, and that's the first out of
Cool.
the excitement gave them after I feed them with information. I say they did their own research, they found the spot suitable for it, and they established it. And it is open for tours as we speak.
Have they already started to cultivate the vanilla?
Vanilla takes 3 years to.
So they won't see it
They
right
won't
now.
see it right now. So
Okay.
it's,
But
it's
they
a lot
put
of
in the
patience.
groundwork.
They put it in the ground, and that's why I need to continue these trainings to encourage them to continue on.
Now, what is your concept behind having it as a cooperative?
Cooperative is my idea of working as different entities, private entities, so that we can move forward, and then possibly in the 5 to 10 years we can approach a market and meet a demand.
Nice.
I've did a little research on cooperatives in Belize, and I've seen success. I think like with the sugar cane farmers, papaya growers, and I've had mentors that push me forward to form a cooperative. And it's an idea where you have people working in a network. So I think that's the movement that I want to go into.
Okay.
So
if somebody's watching and they're interested in understanding more about this process, how do they get in touch with you?
we have a Facebook page, Belize Vanilla Cooperative, and you can look that up. I have my phone number, it's 615-3589. I'm available for any call. We can email you information. We can email you information. We've developed a brochure to how to grow vanilla, how to all the information that is required to grow vanilla, right? So we have people who are interested. Of course, we have what they need. So. And of course, if they want to buy a vanilla plant, it's available. So that's going to come in a package, a brochure with it. So it's like a manual for you to know.
So people can purchase their seedlings and then venture to plant it in their home. Is there a specific type of plant that's preferred as the support?
Well, in Belize, we use the Madre de Cacao, which is very popular for fences, and the amount of shade it provides is perfect for vanilla. You don't want to have it on a mango tree because
that's too much shade.
Too much shade, and then when you want to pull your mango, you're going to
ruin the vanilla tree.
You want to make sure it is safe. So yes, we have them in the nurseries as we speak. We're hoping that by February we have these vanilla gardens established fully, and we look forward to 3 years, 4 years of production.
All right. And who has been supporting you with this initiative?
Well, we are doing our own fundraiser.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
your family, you and your sister.
No, the cooperative.
Okay.
I would say the young women and youth involved. We have our nursery. We have moringa trees. We have cacao trees in the nursery right now, which we will sell for us to generate funds to cover our expenses. Movements.
Yeah.
And then of course we're planning to sell some vanilla plants to those who support our initiative to cover our expenses as we go forward.
Okay. All right. And as you said, you have a Facebook page which people can reach out to if they would like to find out more about the project, purchase seedlings, or just show their support in any way.
Show their support, yes.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in and telling us about this. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the public?
Well, I did a 3 weeks tour with some friends in Toledo just this month. And the potential I see in Toledo, the amount of agriculture activities that's happening. We also have cardamom in Toledo, which a lot of people didn't know cardamom was growing in Belize. currently our farmers, they have been moving cardamom to Guatemala, which is their only outlet. I'm also trying to see where I can find other outlets for them. It could be domestically in Belize, and then of course, explore an export market. So I will be doing my research. I'm trying to make contacts, so if anybody out there will be willing to, help us find a market for coffee, cardamom, nutmeg, and of course we have an abundance of turmeric, which I think is only, I would say 20% of turmeric in the ground in Toledo is being sent to the market.
Yeah.
So these are the
Turmeric
things.
is big right now.
Turmeric is very big right now. So I think we need to, as Belizeans, I think we need to move forward and really consider having a Belizean entity to export produce directly from Belize. And of course the end product, it's the value added.
And so you have trainings set up for when?
December 16th
December
and
16th
17th.
and 17th.
Yes, so for those interested, I have a Facebook page. My number again, 615-3589. We're open. We're open.
Well, I think, thank you for coming in and sharing this wonderful idea. And I love that it is a homegrown initiative. You are from Toledo. You wanted to find other avenues where you can create agro-tourism products, which means you have an agriculture, or you have a farm, but you bring people in to see the processing. And I'm very sure people will be eager to see the process of making vanilla. So best of luck with this. And remember, if you'd like to find out more about the Belize Vanilla Cooperative, you can find them on Facebook and show your support or send them your questions. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Channel 5. Thank you, everyone. And Belize, thank you for giving me this opportunity to share what we have. As young people, we are moving forward to trying to do a change in society.
I love this. All right. We're going to go ahead now and take our final break. And when we come back, we'll have our wrap-up. So stay tuned.